What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's Ernie, Blerd without fear. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Hulk number 3 by Donny Cates and Ryan Ottley. And in this video, I'm going to talk about this new Dark Hulk that we're being introduced to, and I'm going to give you a couple of reasons why it's possible that we've seen this Hulk before. And if that's the case, I got a couple of good ideas about who this Dark Hulk truly is. We're going to talk about all this and more right now, but first, if you want to see more awesome videos like this one, hit that subscribe button. I post multiple videos throughout the week, plus live stream the Blerd Cave every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. So hit that bell button, that way you don't miss anything. And if you enjoy the video, Hulk smash that like button. That said, let's talk about Hulk number 3.
You can't see me, you Stevie, wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy.
Okay, so in this issue of Hulk number 3, we finally get to see exactly what it was that was going on in El Paso that just triggered the absolute living hell out of Bruce Banner and has motivated him to take over control of the Hulk and the Mindscape, the whole shebang, and turn it into a USS Enterprise style starship, with him acting as the captain of the ship and using the Hulk and its rage as a form of dilithium crystals to power Banner's control over the Hulk itself. We get to see all of that, or at least a version of it, in this instance where Banner is revisiting having killed so many people in El Paso, Texas. It turns out this was just a nightmare, but a nightmare that seems to be rooted in a lot of truth. And of course, about a couple of weeks ago, Marvel Editorial had revealed that Hulk was going to be getting his own version of Null, no different than Venom did getting, actual Null when Donny Cates was writing Venom. But yeah, they promised this whole, this guy's gonna be like Hulk's version of Null, which can mean a lot of things. And if it means what I think it means, and like I said, sometimes you can read between the lines and sometimes it's not worth it to. But one thing to know about Null is that Null is a character who was technically a throwaway character created by Jason Aaron, and Donny Cates took that throwaway character and turned it into something greater. A lot of you may or may not remember from Jason Aaron's Thor God of Thunder series, when Gore the God Butcher's origin was revealed to us, we were shown two characters, one that was supposed to be a being of light and another that was supposed to be a being of darkness. This was roughly around the time of Thor God of Thunder number 6 in 2013. So all the way back then, there was this character that had no purpose whatsoever, other than just to fill out a story. And then roughly around the time of Venom number 3 and 4 under Donny Cates, this character is introduced and we learn that, this is a character we met a long time ago. We just didn't know it. I have a sneaky suspicion that Cates is going to be doing something kind of similar with this dark version of the Hulk that we're looking at right now. This is a character who seems to be incredibly dismissive towards Banner himself, like doesn't really seem to care much for Bruce Banner the man, but seems to hold at least some modicum of respect for the Hulk itself. Though at the same time, also kind of giving a menacing glare at the Hulk inside of the engine room. Who could this Hulk be? There's a couple of things that cross my mind. Actually, 3 characters that cross my mind. One is more likely than the other 2. The first character that crossed my mind was Brian Banner, or at least some facsimile of him. We know that Brian Banner has been trapped in the Below Place since Immortal Hulk, and he is, for all intents and purposes, not been alive since he was killed by Bruce in Incredible Hulk, Volume 1, -1, back in 1997. Now, this was a retcon by Peter David and Adam Kubert of Bill Mantlo and Mike Mignola's Incredible Hulk, Volume 1, number 312, where there was a fateful meeting between Brian Banner and Bruce, and it seemed as though Incredible Hulk number 312, they had their meeting, they had their words, and Brian Banner went on his merry way. But in the Incredible Hulk -1 issue, we discovered that that wasn't the case. Bruce had actually killed Brian, and he has, for the most part, been dead ever since. Now, of course, yes, he did come back as Devil Hulk, and of course, in the pages of the Immortal Hulk, we discovered that Devil Hulk was just another personality, another alter, rather, of Bruce Banner. Who's to say that this guy, this Dark Hulk, couldn't be just yet another manifestation of Brian Banner within Bruce's own psyche? I mean, typically, Brian Banner prefers to call Bruce a freak or a monster rather than calling him a weak boy, but that's not exactly outside of his wheelhouse either. The other one I was going to bring up is the Guilt Hulk. Guilt Hulk is yet yet another alter of Bruce Banner, and one that technically Brian Banner has assumed the identity of in the past. Though technically this manifestation was just kind of how Bruce perceived his own father. So I mean, yeah, this could be, once again, it'd be kind of returning to the well once again, just, seeing your dad inside of, this monstrous creature, or viewing your father as this monstrous creature that is unrelenting and wants nothing more than to harm you. I mean, it's par for the course for the Hulk in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Pretty much every manifestation of the Hulk has some root in how he perceives the world around him or the people around him. We learned in Al Ewing's Immortal Hulk that Joe Fixit was just the manifestation of what young child Bruce thought an actual adult man was supposed to be like. And Devil Hulk and Guild Hulk aren't that much different in that regard. They're both manifestations of how he perceived his father, with Devil Hulk actually transcending that during Al Ewing's Immortal Hulk. Now, I've said these two things, and I'm gonna go and throw one out here, and this is gonna be some wild, pie in the sky BS, but I actually think this is the more likely outcome. This Dark Hulk, while yes, looks alone don't necessarily mean anything, but this Dark Hulk actually reminds me of something that we haven't seen since Axis. This was a 2014 story arc that was largely overseen by Rick Remender, where Red Skull had gained control over the powers of the X-Men villain Onslaught, and through some weird and wacky shenanigans, various heroes and villains of the Marvel Comics universe became inverted, meaning that characters who were normally villainous, like Sabretooth or Carnage, acted the opposite of how they normally acted. They turned more into, quotey fingers, good guys. Whereas more heroic characters, like Havoc or Iron Man, started acting more selfishly and almost more like villains. That said, during the story arc, we were introduced to an inverted version of the Hulk, who was referred to by the name of Cluh, or Clue, however you want to pronounce that. I'm just going to say Cluh. Point of the matter is, I'm not talking about the Cluh that was the clone of Hulk that was created by Zimnu, the original Incredible Hulk, but the actual inverted version of Hulk, who had jet black skin and was often referred to as the Hulk's Hulk. This guy was incredibly powerful, and while his strength was never 100% truly measured in the way that we have been measuring the likes of the Savage Hulk, Joe Fixit, so on and so forth, this guy was powerful enough that he was able to lay a lot of different Avengers flat on their ass. And we really haven't seen him since. Part of me wonders if Donny Cates is going to dig back into Axis to drag this character out of the deepest parts of Banner's psyche and turn it against him. Whatever the case may be, this character keenly has his eyes set on taking Banner out and liberating Banner's body so that he can be the one true Hulk. Whoever this Dark Hulk is, the Savage Hulk seemingly isn't sure whether he wants to fight him or he wants him to hang around or whatever. But whatever the case may be, this Dark Hulk is playing the Savage Hulk, and when the time is right, which we know that it'll be within the next 3 issues of Donny Cates and Ryan Ottley's Hulk, we'll likely learn the true story behind it. But I don't know, you tell me, what are your theories? What do you guys think? Keep it plus ultra and sound off in the comments.